What's up, guys? Hope everyone is doing fine. My name is Shelton Boucher, and today I'll be giving a quick tour guide around North America in the Ford GT4 regarding the SCEL Championship. Before going into the review, let's take a look at the full lap and then do the quick review. Thank you. All right, so going into turn one, um, I use those four cones as a marker. When my front end gets to it, I start to brake, and I peak at around 90% braking right there, and keep it there until I start to turn. And once I start to turn, that's when I lift off the brake. So, pretty basic stuff to be fair. Um, and for this corner, it's crucial to be as much on the curb, the inside curb as you can. Since if you I mean, on exit you have a lot of understeer, so that's why you want to use as much curb as you can. And then you let the car wash out nice and wide, not too wide because it's easy to get on off track if one of your tires hit the like gravel part right there. So you gotta be careful and wash out maximum. I mean, I wouldn't set a maximum. You have all that space, but you want to be able to come back before hitting that section right there, that gravel section. As you can see, I was. All right, so going into turn one, I use the four cones as a braking reference. As my front end gets to it, that's when I start to brake. I peak at around 90%, so yeah, you hold that until you start to turn in. And you could say I turn in around a bit after the first cone, the first cone, the single cone, sorry. Yep. And then right there, you want to use as much inside curb as possible, since you'll have a lot of understeer on exit. You want to be able to counter that as much as you can with the inside curb, and you let the car wash out nice and easy. You want to be careful on exit though, because um, it's really easy to get an off track at this particular spot. You want your middle of the car to be on the right side of this small corner that I'm pointing you guys. And yeah, if you go to the left of that, then you have a off track, and your whole lap is ruined, unfortunately. Then going into turn 2, I stick to the left side of the track and use the number 1 marker as a reference, if that makes sense. When my well, this part of the car, I'm not sure what it's called, the roll cage, or I wouldn't call it roll cage, but yeah, the side of the windscreen. Uh, when it gets close to the number 1, that's when I start to hit the brakes, and I do a small slow and fast out, if it makes sense. You don't want to be like super aggressive, go super wide, and then cut back inside. You want to be you want to do like a normal apex, but well, it's better explained to be a small slow and fast out, if it makes sense. So you just do that. You want to get a nice exit there because there's a long straight, so it's really important to get a good exit. The car wash out nice and easy to the left side of the track. Then again, this corner, if you take it too wide at this particular spot, you're gonna get an off track again. You want your middle of the car to be on the right side of the track right there. And then we have this super long straight. And for this next corner, I brake at around 3.5-ish. 350 mark right there. So like when the grass transitions to the sand, or I think it's sand or gravel, something like that, that's when I start to brake. And yeah, as you can see, I peak at around 90% again. You want to aim to for your left tires to be on this curb. You could get a slowdown if you go too much on the right side, so be mindful of that, and don't take any unnecessary risk at this section. So you want to be just like that. I was kind of on the limit right there, so don't go further than that. I don't recommend it. And then I keep it in second through there. It's really important to not accelerate too early. I've seen a lot of people do that. I did it myself when practicing. I found myself always accelerating a bit too early around this small corner. Then right there, you want to be on the inside curb as much as you can again. Then let the car wash out all the way through there. Then again, right there, it's pretty easy to get an off track. Fortunately for me, that was not an off track, but you could. That's like quite a big spot for off track. So be mindful of that again. And for this next corner, it's hard to say when to turn. I kind of just like do it by instinct, so I don't really have a marker for that. But I start to brake when my not sure what it's called, but the top of the windshield banner gets to the top of the bridge. That's when I start to brake. As you can see, it gets to it. That's when I start to brake. You could say maybe when the bridge the bridge ends right there, you could start turning in, but I'm not really sure how to keep that part in your peripheral vision while aiming right there with your eyes. So you know, it's kind of a tough corner to get right. So practice is gonna make that corner perfect, for sure. Then right there, it's really important to not come in that corner with too much speed, because you're gonna go super wide, and it's not really cool. It's not really cool. You want to use as much curb as you can on the left side of the track right there. As you can see, I'm pretty much on the grass right there. So yeah, that was actually pretty good. That was actually pretty good, pretty decent. Then you let the car wash out again to the right side of the track, and you want to go to the left side of the track as soon as you can for this next corner. This one is pretty tricky to take because once you're in draft, you're gonna have massive understeer right there. So you sort of wanna switch your approach in draft and without draft. So you can see without draft, I start turning in. I don't really have a marker again. I just turn whatever I feel like it. You could take, let's say, a bit before, as you can see, there's like a small uh, asphalt patch right there. You could say when I get close to it, that's when I start to turn. But yeah, it's not really, there's no markers for this corner, to be fair. So I sort of just wing it on my end. And then for this corner, I sort of messed it up. You want to have your right tires on the grass right there. That's that would be the ideal line for this small 90 degrees corner. Then again, you let the car wash out nice and easy to the left side of the track. Use all of the curb. Right there, if you don't get off the curb fast enough, you're going to get a big bump. Doesn't really affect anything, but it's not really fun to get surprised by that. Right after that, I brake at around 275, 2.5, something like that, around there. And I brake pretty hard since it's a downhill braking zone. You want to brake quite early to compensate for that. And so yeah, I brake 90%, and as I get to the curb, I slowly release and start turning in. You could use this curb on the right side, but it's really hard to. You have to like brake at an angle, and I'm not sure it's really optimal. So I don't recommend using this curve as a a way to make your entry better. And right there, you use as much curb as you can. Once again, there were no off tracks on this whole lap, so just like so, you want to do that. That'll give you some good rotation because I'm pretty sure it's cambered. It's a cambered, not corner, but a cambered. Yeah, as you can see, the curb is cambered towards the inside. So if you grab this corner well decently enough, you're gonna be able to take advantage of that and have a good rotation through there. And then right there, it's you let the car wash out. I'm gonna say wash out quite a lot because it's kind of the word I'm sticking to right now. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's really easy to get a slow, not a slow down, an off track right there. It's the same thing as the T1 and T2. If your car is on the right, the middle of your car is on the right side of this small spot right there. I'm not sure how to call it, but yeah, the end of the curb. We could call it that, the end of the curb. That's when you'll get a off track. It doesn't really slow you down to get one. It's just a pain because you have to redo your whole lap, your quali lap if you're in quali, or you'll get an off track on the race, and it's not really cool. Then right there, you wanna swing back to the left side of the track as soon as you can. And I usually apex around a bit later. I didn't even apex. I mean, I did, but yeah, I was quite far from the inside of the track right there. I'd recommend maybe hitting a bit after this small stain on the grass right there. So maybe you want to be a quarter of a car right there, more to the right, and let the car do its thing. Let it roll more towards the middle of the track. Then right there, I was a bit hasty on throttle. As you can see, I got way too early. I mean, I got too much on the throttle too early. So you want to be easy on it. You want to slowly ease on the throttle. And as you can see, I sort of bottled it right there. But if I went in a bit slower on throttle, that would have gave me the rotation needed to hit the curb and have a good corner and be able to hit this section right there. As you can see, I had to lift a tiny bit, not to miss miss the corner. Then going into this fast corner, I use a number 1 card as a brake marker. I mean, I don't brake a lot. As you can see, I'm like braking barely. I peak at 25%, then I get off quite fast because you want to be on throttle as soon as you can through there because you have a pretty good um, straight right after. So brake and turn pretty much at the same time. You want to be close to this curb, and you could even try to get on it. Unfortunately, I think I missed the ideal line, which is to get two tires on the curb right there, um, for it to be perfect. But yeah, it was decent enough to a point where I wouldn't mind doing that in a race. Then you let the car go wide again. So for this next corner, you want to brake at the number 4 right there. As you can see, I brake at the number 4. I start braking at the number 4. Then I peak at around 95. It's pretty high. You don't want to go there. You want to like have a max peak of, I'd say, 90%, something like that. Because if you go over that, you'll be in ABS and you'll just cook your tires for no reason. So yeah, I downshift into second. Then you want to be a bit more on the inside than what I just did. I was, let's say, well, it wasn't a bad corner, but I could have been a bit more inside right there, as you can see. That would have been the perfect corner. Then you want to be super slow on the throttle right there, because it's super easy to spin out. Or spin out. I wouldn't say spin out, but it's easy to get understeer right there and go in the gravel trap right there. And then yeah, you want to be careful again right there. It's an easy spot to get off track. So you want to go to the right side of that as soon as you can. As you can see, that was pretty good. You want your, again, middle of the car with this curb end, and you should be safe should be safe of an off track. Then for Canada corner, you want to stick your car to the right side of the track on the curbs to get as much as entry track as you can. Then right there, let's see, I start turning in when my car gets close to the end of the curb, and a small lift. I think I did. Oh, I didn't even brake. I thought I braked. Okay, well, you lift just a little. You want to get the curb right there on the inside, because you could say maybe you don't take the curb because you'll have understeer, but whether you take it or not, you're gonna have understeer, so might as well take it and cut the corner a bit more. Then you want to use this what is it called, the ambulance thing, I think it's called, you know, where the ambulance goes out on track if there's a crash. Well, no, let's call it an extra asphalt patch or something like that. You want to use that again for extra exits speed. Then for the last corner, I use this. You can kind of see the asphalt changes. There's a line right there. Once my car goes through it, that's when I start to brake, and I brake at around 90% again. You want to get on this curb, this left curb, to get even more. I mean, to get a better exit, as you can see. I start to trail brake right there, and you want to be early on throttle. You want to be early on throttle for the last corner because there's a long straight right after, and it's really important to maximize exit in order to gain time on others or have a good exit, in other words. As you can see, I could have been a bit more inside, but yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that in a race. Then for the last time, you let the car wash out to the left side of the track. and yep, just like so, you go up the hill, and that's a lap of Road America in the Ford GT4. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. I'll try to answer them as clearly as I can, and yeah, hope you guys have fun.